How's it going, everybody? Day 2 of RLCS Wildcard has come to a conclusion, and with it, 7 sweeps. Pretty crazy stuff yet again. It's just insane to see like the results. Like, you try to have some expectations, but then it just keeps changing all the time. So wild stuff across the board. We're gonna go by A stream, B stream. We're gonna do one and then the other in the exact same way when it comes to how we did yesterday. We're gonna try to crush through these in like 8 minutes, so you guys get a really quick update before going into the matches for day 3. First on the stream was Pioneers versus Semper on the A stream. Pioneers looked pretty solid yesterday, good offense, but the matches were extremely close. Going up against Semper, who looked dominant, and Semper continued that. In the series, it was all Semper the whole way through. 4-0 in their favor. I do say that with a little bit. There was 3 1-goal games. Even with Kansas City Pioneers using their overtime, it did not seem to matter. For them in particular, man, Semper's offense is looking good. Exotic putting shots away from sidewalls that he needs to, and primarily just seems to be the team is playing smart. No overcommits, just clean rotational game with a lot of pressure. So Semper looking good. I underestimated them the first time. Not this time. Semper looking solid. On the B stream, we then had the club going up against Bravado. And for the club, they looked probably like the best losing team yesterday up against Space Station, who's been playing really solid. They ended up playing an aggressive game against Bravado and dominating. They only allowed 4 goals for Bravado. It was 4-0, 7-0, 4-1, and then the last game was a 1-goal game. So Bravado getting better as the reps continued, but primarily the club looks like one of those underdog teams that, even though they're the 3rd seed in SAM, do not take them lightly. Between KV1 Lost and everybody else, like club looks like a surprise pick. I had them in my predictions, potentially making it into groups, and I'm feeling better about that the more and more time goes on. So club looking pretty dang solid. We then go to our second series of the A stream, which was Corp versus Renegades. And Corp, same thing as Semper, looking solid. Renegades did have some moments to keep it close, but ultimately they cannot get a single win. 2 1-goal games in game 1 and 3 after a timeout, but 3-2, 4-0, 3-2, 2-0. Some pretty solid moments. Like, there'd be redirects and like a couple forced errors where like Kami would have a play that hit like corner post, and then it forced Astral to own goal and stuff like that. So Renegades is a team that in the high seed, again, still 3 lives to work with, a lot of time to bounce back. They're going to be in the middle of the bracket. I'll show you guys the schedule at the end as well to show you guys who's playing up next. But yeah, it was a good effort from Renegades, but Corp looks like another like top 6 was no fluke last time around. So Corp looking really, really good. On the B stream, we then had 0-1 versus Gladiators. 0-1, I don't feel like we got their best performance from them yesterday and today against Gladiators, obviously using their super sub. Unfortunately, not able to get a victory for Gladiators. It is another sweep in favor of 0-1. 3-2, 1-0, 5-0, 7-1, Brazilian the last game. Primarily from 0-1, this is more of what I expected for them. They got a little bit more space going with the mechie plays, as they've been deemed in chat. A lot of flip reset goals and stuff like that. 0-1 in front of the net with space is very, very lethal. That can be said about Mina in particular. So 0-1-4 over Gladiators. We then go back to the A stream. We got Space Station and V1, and candidly, V1 looked pretty sloppy. Beast Mode did not have the role that he normally plays as the massive goal scorer, and because of that, the team tended to struggle. A couple good plays, like a flip reset into a pass that ended up dumping off, and a couple demo plays and bump plays that ended up opening things up, but Space Station didn't seem phased whatsoever. Very comfortable, did not overcommit, kind of facilitated the game through and through, whether it be boost control, not challenging him. Like, they look like they're a team on a path to win world champs. So the positive note for V1 is, again, they still have 3 lives. They did take 2 games off of Space Station despite looking pretty sloppy. They had 2 overtime games. They ended up winning 1 of them. But the biggest problem with V1 is like their defensive rotations. They would like bump. I think it's a communication thing, if I'm being 100% honest. But they're like overlapping and bumping into each other. Bad like errors. They got scored on so many times with like 10, 15 seconds left when they were up by 1 or something to that extent that would cause them to lose the series. So if they clean that stuff up, then we get a standard V1 versus Space Station series, even with V1 looking kind of poor. So some positive notes to take away from them, but Space Station absolutely dominated. They look hot. They look so good right now. Probably one of the favorites to move forward. Most likely going to be second seed, assuming Corp does well against Optic, but we'll talk about that in a bit here. So yeah, Space Station looking really dang solid. They move on 4-2. Up next on the B stream, we had then Team Secret and Pirates, and Team Secret bounces back, which was good to see. Unfortunately for the Pirates, it is a 4-0 sweep. But the good thing about Pirates is they did have some pretty solid offense. I talked about how they actually looked decent against version 1 yesterday. They continue that. Do not get shut out in a single game. Their offense is clicking. I think Pirates could upset some people. Both them and the Senbei, the former Toku Verdi, have been surprising me. I'll talk about them in a sec. But Pirates put up a pretty good fight. They did keep 1 to OT, but other than that, Secret just outpace. It's the big thing about the Pirates. Although very talented, they are a little bit slower than others. So glad to see that. Overall, happy with Team Secret bouncing back. We then get into our last two on the A and B stream. We had Dignitas versus Optic, and Optic sweeps Dignitas. It started off pretty good, actually, I would say, for Dignitas. They kept it pretty close, a lot of pressure, and then just big counterattacks, and Optic started playing aggressive, super aggressive, winning challenges in the midfield. The one play that sticks out in particular was there was a shot top left that managed to like squish against the top left of the post and then save it, and then there was a counterattack after that. But like Optic playing aggressive in the face of the other team, cutting off a lot of things. Defensive missed and everybody else standing up tall. And then good pass plays. I think Dries had one up to Illusion, who hit backboard and dropped down. So unfortunate for Dig. They do get swept even with timeout. Can't do anything. 3-1, 2-1, 3-2, 2-1. So even though it is Optic playing Optic fashion with close games, 1-goal games, they dominated that series. It was very one-sided. Normally when I say the 4-0 doesn't tell the story, look at the finer details. In this one, it does. 1-goal games, that's just the Optic play style. They played really well. Played really, really well. Last one on the other side was Veloce versus Senbei. I did talk about how I don't think Veloce was playing up to their potential. They brought it this time around, looking a lot cleaner. Good interview as well from their team. 3-1, 3-2, 4-1, 2-1. So 2 1-goal games in that one. But Veloce offense is clicking, looking a lot better. Positive notes about Senbei as well. Offense is looking a lot better, hitting some good matches. A little bit of sloppiness from both sides at times, where like they would give up a free goal where like it would be a bad touch back towards their own half. They'd run on a boost and it was a free shot from one of the teams. I think Realize scored us off of one of those from Veloce at one point. But they kind of traded goals at that time. But the fact that Senbei is still able to get some good infield passes going, Realize hitting redirects, stuff like that, some positive notes. So that is what we've got for all 8 of our matches, which then brings us to our results. So let me pull these up for you all so you can see where we are at right now. Let's make these bigger for y'all. These are the results. This is where we're at in the upper round. Our first match of the uppers. These are for qualifications. Whoever wins these is guaranteed into group stage. First seed ends up playing Furia. Second seed ends up playing Endpoint. The third, I think, plays NRG. So Semper and Space Station, whoever wins that will go on, be a guarantee. Space Station's probably going to be the second seed if they win. Semper will be the first seed if they win, depending on how close the series is. Corp may be able to if they sweep. And then we got Optic and Corp. That should be an interesting series based on the way Optic's been playing. In the middle of the round, these are the teams that are all 1-1. V1 versus Veloce, Renegades versus Secret. That's a really fun series. Dig versus 0-1, and then Pioneers versus the Club. Those series to me are very exciting. I really like seeing this one and this one. You got OCE versus Sam in both. Time to answer who is truly the better region. And I really like this matchup. This matchup should be fun. Pioneers Club should be a lot of fun. And then we have our elimination matches. Both these teams are 0-2. I gotta move this over so you guys can actually see it. Both these teams are 0-2. Loser of this goes home. Senbei versus Bravado. Pirates versus Gladiators. Happy to see that we do not have APIC versus APIC and SSA versus SSA. So love that overall. Love that overall. Excited to watch these matches. Again, we will be doing these on stream. Twitch.tv/Lawler. Come hang out with us. We've been joined by various special guests. Today we got joined by Kronovi and Leaf. Leaf talked about some really weird stuff as always. We also had like an AI bot that was like producing photos for us and stuff. I don't know. It was weird, but Supersonic was with us as well. But yeah, you never know who's going to stop by or who's going to show up or who we pull in the call. So come join us. Twitch.tv/Lawler. We're going to be streaming all these matches throughout. But with that said, I have an 8 today. So your boy is going to go get some sushi. He is very hungry. But again, as always, if you guys need additional questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments down below. Links to the bracket and everything down below as well. And we'll try to keep you guys up to date as these progress on a daily recap basis. Bright and early in the morning, right before you get the matches going, you know what's going on. Should be a lot of fun. So, I know we do have an all-encompassing video coming up soon, and then we'll do like 2 recaps in one for y'all, but that is it. As always, enjoy the content. Thumbs up, subscribe, notifications helps me out greatly, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.